What is this whole thing about clapping? They just literally appeared and you clapped?
It is my great honor to present First Lady Melania Trump.
First Lady Melania Trump.
First Lady Melania Trump officially taking on her best initiative.
She is courageous. She's taking on a tough topic.
Focused on the well-being of children, social media use, and opioid abuse.
Let's join together in your committing to help children dream big, think big, and do all they can to be best in everything they do.
Come on, there's nothing here for me to criticize and that pisses me off.
The Be Based campaign is now going international.
She has the advantage of speaking several languages. She can be a diplomat for our country.
Throughout history, women have made lasting impacts on society, and these women represent the strength of the female spirit.
Your regular, harmless, boring-ass feminism.
As First Lady of the United States, I'm proud of what this country continues to do for women.
Pass the Equal Rights Amendment already.
We as women must continue using our great tool of empowerment,
Your tits?
our voices.
Well, that's hardly a uniquely female thing now, is it? Alright, okay, come on. Keep it going.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump.
Hurry up!
Good evening. It seems like just yesterday that we were at our first convention.
What? It's been like years since coronavirus started, and Trump? Well, he's always been president, right?
Where my husband accepted the Republican nomination and became our 45th president of the United States. He had the energy and enthusiasm for who should lead this nation. It is real today as it was 4 years ago.
Why did we nominate Joe
I know
Biden?
I speak for my husband and the entire family when I say we have not forgotten the incredible people who were willing to take a chance on the businessmen who had never worked in politics.
Well, hopefully we'll never take that chance again.
We know it was you who elected him to be commander-in-chief.
And he's been using that power to continue wars in the Middle East, like he said he wouldn't.
And we know it is you who will carry us through again. We were humbled by the incredible support then, and we are still grateful today. I want to acknowledge the fact that since March, our lives have changed drastically.
Thank you,
The invisible
Captain
enemy,
Obvious.
COVID-19, swept across our beautiful country and impacted all of us. My deepest sympathy goes out to everyone who has lost a loved one, and my prayers
Prayer doesn't work.
those who are ill or suffering. I know many people are anxious and some feel helpless. I want you to know you're not alone. My husband's administration will not stop fighting until there is an effective treatment or vaccine.
Well, they started too
available
late,
to
didn't they?
everyone.
That's the problem, right?
Donald will not rest until he has done all he can to take care of everyone impacted by this terrible pandemic.
Gratitude to workers.
We recently celebrated the 100-year anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment.
Why is this a thing? I mean, we rotated around the sun 100 times. Who fucking cares?
We must make sure that women are heard and that the American dream continues to thrive.
Yeah, the women all vote for Hillary, so...
Growing up as a young child in Slovenia,
I don't care about your childhood in Slovenia.
the past 3.5 years have been unforgettable.
I'm sure they have.
There are no words to describe how honored, humbled, and fortunate I am to serve our nation as your First Lady. After many of the experiences I've had, I don't know if I can fully explain how many people I take home with me in my heart each day.
Frontline families, you're the heroes. No, the military, you're the heroes. No, everybody. Everybody's a hero.
Just as you are fighting for families, my husband, our family, and people in the administration are here fighting for you.
If by me you mean a corporate lobbyist.
No matter the amount of negative or false media headlines or attacks from the other side, Donald Trump has not and will not lose focus.
Come again. Can't understand.
He loves this country, and he knows how to get things done.
If you say so.
As you have learned over the past 5 years, he's not a traditional politician.
His politics are rather traditional. His rhetoric,
Doesn't
not
just
so
speak
much.
words. He demands action, and he gets results.
Most politicians don't get results because Congress is Congress. He is President of the United States.
The future of our country has always been very important to him, and it is something that I have always admired. In fact, it is to help ensure a better future for our next generation that I launched Be Best, my initiative to help children achieve their fullest potential. Be Best has one simple goal: teaching youth about the importance of their well-being, both mentally and physically. This also includes understanding online safety and the dangers of opioid and drug abuse. Through Be Best, my office and I have been able to highlight people, programs, and organizations that are doing extraordinary things in our country and around the world. I continue to believe that by shining a light on these positive examples, others across the country and globe will become inspired to do their part for our next generation. Helping children is not a political goal. It is our moral imperative.
Oh my god, this is so boring.
When I think back to a funny moment,
Please, no more stories. Just say something.
like all of you, I have reflected on the racial unrest in our country. It is a harsh reality that we are not proud of parts of our history.
Or indeed most of it.
I encourage people to focus on our future while still learning from our past. We must remember that today we are all one community, comprised of many races, religions, and ethnicities. Our diverse and storied history is what makes our country strong.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't care what anybody's background is. I care if they're useful. Most of them are not.
And yet, we still have so much to learn from one another. With that in mind, I like to call on the citizens of this country to take a moment, pause, and look at things from all perspectives. I urge people to come together in a civil manner so we can work and live up to our standard American ideals.
Yeah, the American ideals are a scam.
I also ask people to stop the violence and looting being done in the name of justice.
Meh, if the things being destroyed are like Walmarts or Confederate statues, I don't actually mind.
And never make assumptions based on the color of a person's skin.
Yeah, but if their skin's orange, I think that's a pretty bad sign.
Instead of tearing things down, let's reflect on our mistakes, be proud of our evolution, and look to our way forward.
Thank you for that meaningless platitude. Have you anything of content to say?
Every day, let us remember that we are one nation under God.
God doesn't
And
exist.
we need to cherish one another.
Nope, nothing useful so far.
My husband's administration has worked to try and effect change when it comes to issues around race and religion in this country.
Specifically, he has been emboldening the white nationalist neo-Nazis and advancing the evangelist agenda.
And honor the right of every person to worship as they choose.
He's gone beyond that. He wants to give fundamentalist Christians exceptions to the law for believing in fairy tales.
He has made substantial investments in our historically black colleges and universities.
That bill had been rummaging around the House since Obama.
This president also continues to fight for school choice.
School choice doesn't work. Not everybody can afford the transportation to move to the better school districts.
Giving parents more options to help their children flourish.
Or we can have actually good public schools so that everybody has a fair
My
shot.
husband knows how to make change. From the day that I met him,
I don't really care what you pretend to think of him. We all know what he's really like already by this point.
and while debate rage on about issues of race, let's focus on the strides we have made and work together for a better tomorrow for everyone.
Are there like teleprompters in the back corners or something? What is she staring at?
Our administration has also devoted historic resources and produced life-saving results by raising awareness around opioid addiction and drug abuse, especially for children.
Right, so we've invested $6 billion, which is alright, but we need more in the order of tens of billions.
When so often the headlines are filled with gossip, I want to take this moment to encourage the media to focus even more on the nation's drug crisis.
Well, if the media focused in depth on the actual issues, the political system would fall apart almost immediately and they would lose all their power.
This disease is one that affects everybody. It pays no attention to race, age, or socioeconomic status.
Well, I'm not going to be the one who calls the coronavirus racist somehow, because there's certainly people who are stupid enough to do that. But the hardest hit communities have all been the black communities and, in general, the poor communities.
Addiction has touched every part of our society in some way. And now, more than ever, we have programs and medicine to combat it. We just need to talk about it openly. And you, the media, have the platforms to make that happen. To the media industry and as a country, I ask that we all need to think in our fight against drug addiction and talking about it even more. Especially as we battle the COVID pandemic, we need to remember that suicides are on the rise. People who are struggling with loneliness and addiction feel they have nowhere to turn. Parents, please talk to children. Teachers and caregivers, pay attention to signs of addiction. Lawmakers, pass legislation that allows those who ask for help to do so safely and without fear, and to provide resources for organizations that help people impacted by addiction.
Fucking end the war on drugs already.
When the stigma is removed, people will no longer be ashamed to ask for help, and lives will be saved. And if you're struggling with addiction, there is no shame in your illness. Please seek help. You're worth it.
Alright, but not everybody is worth it, you
In
know
the
what I
next
mean?
4 years as First Lady, I will continue to build upon Be Best and work with individual states to pass legislation to take care of our most vulnerable.
But you want people to vote for you?
I plan to continue the work I have started with children in foster care, as well as the minority communities and tribal nations. I want to ensure children are being protected and communities have the resources needed to combat drug addiction and child neglect or abuse. Like my husband and the administration, I will continue to encourage education that supports a child's individual needs.
Oh my god, there's a million reasons why school choice alone will not solve the problem.
It is vital that children are given the building blocks to succeed. I also look forward to continue my work to restore the People's House, which is a lasting symbol of pride for our nation. I believe this iconic home needs to be cared for and preserved so it can be enjoyed by the people of this country and visitors from around the world for years to come. I'm passionate about this beautiful house, grounds, and all they represent.
Come on, you're not actually happy here, are you?
And now, I have a special message for the mothers of this country. This modern world is moving so fast, and our children face challenges that seem to change every few months. Just like me, I know many of you watch how mean and manipulative social media can be. And just like me, I'm sure many of you are looking for answers how to talk to your children about the downside of technology and relationships with their peers.
Fuck, are you gonna be the Luddite now? I mean, sure, TikTok is awful, but it's not all
Every
bad.
parent in this country, I feel there are so many lessons to teach our son.
If this is some gender role shit, we'd be better off without it.
And responsibilities as his mother, but there are just not enough hours in the day to do it all. I remind myself that I'm more fortunate than most.
I disagree. You're with Donald Trump.
I still have days that I look for wisdom and strength to do the very best I can for him. To mothers and parents everywhere, you are warriors. In my husband, you have a president who will not stop fighting for you and your families. I see how hard he works each day and night, and despite the unprecedented attacks from the media and
I think most of the things the media say about Trump is actually valid. Like, he golfs twice a week. Are we really convinced that he works so hard?
opposition, he will not give up. In fact, if you tell him he cannot be done, he just works hard.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. A socialist society cannot be done. Get on it.
Donald is a husband who,
Nobody believes you about Donald Trump.
as you have heard this evening, I don't want to use this precious time attacking the other side. Because as we saw last week, that kind of talk only serves to divide the country further.
It's not doing a very good job. We need more than the duopoly in the political system right now.
I'm here because we need my husband to be our president and commander-in-chief for 4 more years. He's what? He's...
Oh look, I think God's in the way of you spreading your message.
We all know Donald Trump makes no secrets about how he feels about things. Total honesty is what we as citizens deserve from our president. Whether you like it or not, you always know what he's thinking.
Donald Trump doesn't think, he feels.
And that is because he's an authentic person
Sure, but what he says is all wrong.
who loves this country and its people. Wants to continue to make it better.
For himself and his crony capitalists,
Donald
sure.
wants to keep your family safe. He wants to help your family succeed. He wants nothing more than for this country to prosper, and he doesn't waste time playing politics.
What do you mean? He's been deliberately misrepresenting the Democratic position this whole time. He is the very definition of partisan politics.
Almost 4 years ago, we went into Election Day completely underestimated. Despite what is being said again this year, I know, just as you do, that Americans will go to the polls and vote on the behalf of their families, our economy, our national security, and our children's future.
Oh, the future. Yeah, we need to preserve the environment for them that we're currently destroying with all the oil pipelines that Trump is building.
To vote for those ideals is not a partisan vote. It is a common sense vote.
Yeah, common sense, whatever. Nobody who has any intellectual curiosity wouldn't be able to easily see through all of it.
Because those are goals and hopes that we all believe in. I believe that we need my husband's leadership now more than ever in order to bring us back once again to the greatest economy and the strongest country ever.
Biden is the only one who has actually managed an economic comeback.
God bless you all, your families, and God bless the United States of America.
What a tepid and boring speech. I suppose that she wasn't supposed to do any better, but God doesn't exist.